Guys, I'm doing cash flow quadrant. The importance of facts versus opinions. Rich Dad continued his lessons. If you want to be successful on the right side, you've got to know the difference between facts and opinions. You can't blindly accept financial advice the way people on the left side do. You must know the numbers. The numbers will not tell you the facts. The financial survival depends upon facts, not some friends or advisors' wordy opinions. I don't understand. What's the big deal about something being a fact or opinion? Is one better than the other? No, replied Rich Dad. Just know when something is a fact and when something is an opinion. Still puzzled, Robert stood there with a confused look on his face. What is your family home's worth? Asked Rich Dad. Oh, I know, Robert replied quickly. My parents are thinking about selling, so they had a real estate agent come in and do an appraisal. They said the house was worth $36,000. That means my dad's net worth increased by $16,000 because he only paid $20,000 for it 5 years ago. So the appraisal and your dad's net worth, fact or an opinion? Asked Rich Dad. Robert thought about it for a while and understood what he was getting at. Both are opinions, aren't they? Rich Dad nodded his head. Very good. Most people struggle financially because they spend their lives using opinions rather than facts when making financial decisions. Opinions such as your house as an asset. The price of real estate always goes up. Blue chip stocks are your best investment. It takes money to make money. Stocks have always outperformed real estate. You should diversify your portfolio. You have to be dishonest to be rich. Investing is risky. Play it safe. Robert sat there and saw, realizing that most of what Robert heard about money at home was really people's opinions, not facts. Is gold an asset? Asked Rich Dad, stepping Robert out of his daydream. Yes, of course, Robert replied. It's the only real money that has withstood the test of time. See, there you go again, smiled Rich Dad. All you're doing is repeating someone else's opinion. What an asset is an asset rather than checking out the facts. Gold is only an asset by my definition. If you buy it for less than you sell it for. Rich Dad said slowly. In other words, if you bought it for $100 and sold it for $200, then it was an asset. But if you bought 1 ounce for $200 and you sold it for $100, then gold in this transaction was a liability. It is the actual financial numbers of the transaction that ultimately tells you the facts. In reality, the only thing that is an asset or liability is you, because you can make decisions that make gold an asset or a liability. That's why financial education is so important. I've seen so many people take a perfectly good business or piece of real estate and turn it into a financial nightmare. Many people do the same in their personal lives. They take their hard-earned money and create a lifetime of financial liabilities. Robert was more confused, a little hurt inside, and wanted to argue. Rich Dad was toying with Robert's brain. Many a man has been suckered because he didn't know the facts. Every day I hear horror stories of someone who lost all their money because they thought an opinion was a fact. It's okay to use an opinion when making a financial decision, but you must know the difference. Millions of people have made life decisions based upon opinions handed down from generation to generation. They wonder why they struggle financially. What kind of opinions? Robert asked. Rich Dad chuckled to himself before he answered. Well, let me give you a few common ones we have all heard. You should marry him. He'll make a good husband. Find a secure job and stay there all your life. Doctors make a lot of money. They have a big house. They must be rich. He has big muscles. He must be healthy. This is a nice car. It's only been driven by a little old lady. There's not enough money for everyone to be rich. The earth is flat. Humans will never fly. He's smarter than his sister. Bonds are safer than stocks. People who make mistakes are stupid. He will never sell for such a low price. She will never go out with me. Investing is risky. I'll never be rich. I didn't go to college, so I'll never get ahead. You should diversify your investments. You should never diversify investments. Rich Dad went on and on until finally he could tell Robert was tired of hearing his examples of opinions. Okay, I've heard enough. What's your point? Thought you never stop me, Rich Dad said, smiling. The point is that most people's lives are determined by their opinions rather than the facts. For persons like to change, they first need to change their opinions and then start looking at the facts. If you can read financial statements, be able to see the facts of an individual's or a company's financial success rather than going by opinions, yours or somebody else. As Robert said, as I said, one is not better than the other, but to be successful in life, especially financially, you must know the difference. If you can't verify something is a fact, then it's an opinion. Financial blindness occurs when a person can't read a financial statement. Leaving them to rely on someone else's opinion. Financial insanity is caused when the opinions are used as facts. If you want to be on the right side of the casual quadrant, you must know the difference between facts and opinions. Few lessons are more important than this one. Robert sat there, listening quietly, doing his best to understand what Rich Dad was saying. It was obviously a simple concept, yet it was larger than Robert's brain could accept at that moment. Do you know what due diligence is? Rich Dad asked. Robert shook his head. Due diligence simply means doing your homework and finding out which statements are opinions and which are facts. When it comes to money, most people are either lazy or searching for shortcuts, so they don't have to do enough due diligence. And there are still others who are so afraid of making mistakes. All they do is due diligence and then do nothing. Too much due diligence is also called analysis paralysis. The point is that you must know how to sift through facts and opinions, then make your decisions. As I said, most people are in financial trouble today simply because they've taken too much shortcuts and are making their life financial decisions based upon opinions. Often the opinions of an E or an S are not facts. If you want to be an B or an I, you must be keenly aware of this difference. Robert didn't fully appreciate Rich Dad's lesson that day, yet few lessons have served Robert better than that one. Years later, in the early 1990s, Rich Dad watched the stock market climb out of sight. His only comment was, "That's what happens when highly paid employees or self-employed people with big paychecks paying the excessive amounts in taxes, greatly in debt, and with only paper assets in their portfolio, and handing out investment advice. Millions are about to get hurt following the opinions of people who think they know the facts." Warren Buffett, America's greatest investor, once said, "If you're in a poker game and after 20 minutes you don't know who the patsy is, then you're the pat." So basically, when it comes to money, most people are lazy or they just or they don't do anything, or they search for shortcuts. And also, you need to know the difference between an opinion and a fact. And if an opinion comes from an E and S, then that's not a fact. So yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe. Bye.